Look like he slept in his clothes. Johnny, ain't you glad we don't live like that no more? I remember we were always running rough. You know things are better without all that stuff. I feel so good I'm gonna throw my cane away. Yeah. Throw my cane away. Throw my cane away. Throw my cane away. Feels so good. Feels so good I'm gonna throw my cane away. Throw my cane away. Mac, I wish I could stay here and talk, but you know I'm just a ghost. You find out it's a sweet old world after you're gone. Johnny, I figured I was talking to a ghost, 'cause I heard you went back out and you overdosed. I hope someday you get to throw that cane away. Yeah. Throw your cane away. Throw that cane away. Throw your cane away. Hope you feel so good. So good you're gonna throw that cane away. Throw your cane away. Throw that cane. Throw your cane away. Throw that cane away. Throw your cane away. Hope you feel so good. Feel so good you're gonna throw that cane away. All right, Mac, I really got to go. I'm gonna leave it to you to carry on. Baby, I'm just whistling, but I'm glad you were listening to me. Hey, Johnny, I'm still the green man. Gonna keep my mojo as long as I can. I love you, partner. Now look out, I'm gonna throw my...
That is Randall Bramlett, who is coming here to town, is going to be playing here at the Blues Cruise, and that is his song, Throw My Cane Away, which was really, really I think an excellent, excellent song, which is why I chose it. And let's see, I was trying to look when he is playing. I think he is just here for one show, if I remember correctly. He's on the main stage Friday evening, 8:30 to 10, 8:30 to 10. So if you'd like to see more of him or you want to look him up, he is a cool cat. And as it has been said, he's a genius. When I mentioned that to him, he laughed. But anyways, he's from Athens, Georgia, and just has been in the music business, he said, for over 30 years. If I remember correctly, he majored in religion and psychology and started playing when he was back in college, and has been with the same guys in his band for over 30 years. So just wanted to give him a little shout out this morning. Really enjoyed talking to him, and hope to get down there tomorrow night to see him. So there's lots of music going on. Local Focal is going to be doing great out there on the upstairs at Howard's. And they start this afternoon. They've got two 2 music acts this evening. The action really starts tomorrow, Friday afternoon. They start, and they don't stop once they get going. So whatever type of music, whoever you'd like to support, get out there, bring in some family and friends from out of town, and just have a good time. Just have a good time. That's what I say. Have a good time. Have some good barbecue. I was driving uptown last night checking out things, and lots of barbecuers are already in place. So they'll be closing off Main Street right around 5 o'clock this afternoon. So if you need to be driving down Main Street, it's still just, even if you need to get uptown for something other than the Blues Cruise, it's pretty easy. You just may not be able to park right in front, but you'll be able to smell the barbecue. You'll be able to hear the music, and it's all great. I think they barbecuers that are commercial barbecuers, meaning the ones that are serving to the public, will be open at for lunch today. So if you'd like to get up there for lunch and have barbecue, please do it. Please do it. All right, I got a few things I want to talk about here this morning. One of the things I want to talk about was if you were listening yesterday or participating in any of our conversations. By the way, we are live on Facebook. If you want to check out what we're doing, I've got my Local Focal shirt on here today just because I think it's a cool shirt. And I like Local Focal because they advertise with us right here on the radio. But story we talked about yesterday and several people commented on was about the Epstein files, And so, my comment was that President Trump kind of felt we should not even be concerned about this anymore, just like moveon.org, right? But my position was that, we just don't believe it was not suicide. We just don't believe it was not suicide. We believe, I think, majority of the people do not believe it was suicide. They think something else happened there. There is a missing few minutes there. There were no guards. I mean, so many things just didn't line up. Now, not being a conspiracy theorist or anything, but, and then Pam Bondi had on her desk the files that they were going to release, and now, whoops, there's nothing there to see, just move on, yada, yada, yada. Now, it's been said by some that maybe the government is lying about it and they have a good reason to lie. Well, okay, and then eventually they'll say, we had to lie because, I don't know, they were on the verge of catching something, who knows. But here's what I found interesting last night. I did that in the morning, didn't I? Yes, I did. And that last night on Greg Gutfeld, that's what his opening monologue was about. I think Greg Gutfeld or his producers are listening to my show. So if you are, it's okay. It's okay. Anyways, that was my take on things from yesterday and what we were talking about. I was amazed that here he was talking about, as long as we don't get to see the files, we're still going to want to know what was in those files. And I kind of agree. What do you think? 864-229-7984. If you're on Facebook Live, hey, how about giving me a shout out here this morning? Let me know that you're watching, listening, or enjoying what we're doing. So, that's what I just thought that was so funny that was going on Gutfeld last night. All right. Well, I'm going to switch gears for a minute and just talk about the making of Princess Penny. Princess Penny, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this, but, and I did not, but I never had this problem with Gracie because Gracie hated water. I mean, other than to drink it, she did not want to have anything to do with water. Not even her paws getting wet. I mean, she just did not want to have anything to do with water. Now, Princess Penny loves water. In fact, if I'm out there watering the plants in the backyard there, she is right there trying to taste the water. She loves getting in it. Then she rolls in the bark out there. I mean, she just has a great time. Well, unbeknownst to me, is dogs that have floppy ears have a tendency to get water in those ears, and then they have a potential for ear infection. Yes. So when I took her to get groomed the other day, after the groomer said, "Oh my God, Ann, whatever you're doing, keep doing," she was a doll. I was like, "My Gracie, okay." Anyways, she said, "But you need to take her to the vet. Let him check one ear particularly, that she couldn't get in there and get the hairs out because it was so tender." So okay, so I took her to the vet yesterday, and they said, "Yes, has she been swimming?" And I said, "Well, not exactly, but she loves water." And they said, "Herein lies the problem." So I'll just tell you this: if you have a dog that has floppy ears and they love to get in the water, what happens is they get water stuck in there, and then it creates an infection. So I asked him if how to deal with this, and I was given a couple of possibilities. I asked if wearing a swimming cap would help. I will say the vet looked at me kind of funny. And I said, "Well, she loves to wear clothes." I said, "I think she might wear a swimming cap." And she goes, "Good luck with that." Anyways, when you see pictures of Penny with a swimming cap on, you'll know that I have succeeded. But actually, I guess we could say that Penny has, I don't know, swimmer's ear. But yes, they took care of her and plucked out a whole bunch of hairs, which they said the hairs actually are what helps keep the water in the ear that causes the infection. Now, there are several types of remedies out there. They gave me something to put in her ears after we've been through this process. It's gotten healed up after 2 weeks. Somebody else told me about using a couple of drops of what was it? I have no idea whether this works. I have no idea whether it's a proper thing, but apple cider vinegar to make sure that it keeps it dried out in there and kills any infection. So if you have a dog that's shaking their head, scratching their ears, you may have ear infection. And I had that problem. So now I think we're on the mend here. It was a rather expensive lesson. The other alternative is just not let Penny outside when I'm watering the plants. That's the other thing, and then I don't have to deal with this at all. Of course, she would not like it. Anyways, I'm Ann Eller right here this morning. That's just a little aside. You know, people are always asking me here on the radio, well, you know, who do you have for your talkers on the air, and how well rated are they, yada, yada, yada. Well, I will have you know the top heavy 100 talkers list came out yesterday. This is by Talkers Magazine, and actually my friend Michael Harrison, who I've had on the radio, is the publisher. Known him for years. And the list of the top 100 heavy talkers, Clay and Buck came in at number 4, which is huge for the whole country to be number 4. I will tell you, Sean Hannity was number 1. I don't care that Sean Hannity is number 1. I actually like Clay and Buck, so that's why we have Clay and Buck. But number 4 in the top 5, that's huge. We have another top 5 talker right here on WCRS. Even higher than Clay and Buck is Dave Ramsey coming in at number 2. How's that? That's pretty cool, and for a little local station here. All right, Armstrong and Getty which come on right after me, are number 36. Lars Larson, who comes on at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Number 14. Number 14. A lot of people like Lars Larson. It has to do with your audience, the amount of money you make, or you're able to bring in, yada, yada. These are all different metrics that they use to determine this. Who else? Gordon Deal comes in at 74. That's our America in the Morning. And Rich Valdez, our nighttime show right after our old-time radio show, Hollywood 360. Rich Valdez is number 38. So when you talk about having top talkers right here on WCRS, we have them, and that's part of the reason I think goes to our success. And well, where did you fall, Ann? That's the question. Where did I fall? Well, I am happy to tell you. Remember, the list was the top 100. So I am happy to tell you I came in at 101. How's that? So close, yet so far. That's right. I called Michael. I said, I don't see my name on the list. And he goes, well, Ann, you made it to 101. So I am thrilled to be able to say, I'm not a top 100. I'm a top 101. So there you go. I hope you will congratulate me on this accomplishment. You can call it 864-229-7984. You can text it to that same number, or you can make a lovely comment right here on Facebook. I would love that very much. Congratulations. Congratulations is in order, so let's see. Let me give myself a well-deserved. That's right. Let's do it again. That's right. And with that, I think I'll just take off. Yeah, that's the helicopter getting ready to take off here. So we're coming back to Earth, and let's say this one.
Let's get ready to rumble.
That's right. Gosh, I love that guy. Let's get ready to rumble right here on WCRS. Well, Brennan and Comey may have their asses in a crack. That's what I have to say. They could be indicted. Do you think they will? That's the question. What is this? From 2000, what was it, 17, something like that. This story about Russiagate, and then, of course, Comey with all the, that number. Oh, somebody just made a lovely comment. That number 1 is most important. That's right, 101. So we'll just drop the 10 and just say I'm number 1. There you go. How about that? I like that. Again, thank you so much, Miss my texter Supremo. We may have to pop the champagne right here on WCRS. It'd be more like an explosion. All right. Anyways, let's continue on. Brennan and Comey, yes. What do you think about this case? Do you think they are actually going to bring a case against them? That's what I would like to know. They say that they're getting real close. They say they had a lot of info. Comey just was taunting. I think he was taunting the media. That's really what I think. When he did that 86-47 with the shells and said that, oh, no, he didn't have anything to do with it. He just found it in the sand like this. Yeah, right. I think he was taunting it. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if they actually go through with it. Right now, I think I think that if they just had released the files and there was nothing in it they would have been better off, don't you? I mean, this is the thing that really makes the American public question what is going on. So if there's nothing there, if there's no client list, if there's yada yada, then just go ahead and release the files. I think Pam Bondi could be in a little trouble from the standpoint of saying one thing and then doing another. I think it's a problem. But if you have an opinion about this morning, 864-229-7984. If you think that if you agree with Trump and just say, oh, it's old news, who cares? Let me know. 864-229. And I'd love for you to comment on Facebook. You know, when you're on Facebook with me, it helps my numbers. So anytime you can pop in for a few minutes and be on Facebook, if you can like and share it, it is great. So whatever you would like to do, please help me out here. I'm trying to get to really number one instead of 101. But what the heck? Out of all the talkers that are out there, to be 101 is not bad, Ann. Not bad at all. So if you are out there, thank you very much for being with us on Facebook this morning and, of course, on the radio. All right. So what else do we have to talk about? Okay, Brennan and Comey, that's who we were talking about before we went back to the Epstein files. I agree. If they would just release it, if they said, well, y'all can look at it, but it's a nothing burger here. Just go ahead and look at it if you want to, but there's nothing here. They would have been better off than what they're saying is, nope, it's not releasing anything. And then, of course, they played last night. That the interview between Patel and Don Bongino, and they look guilty. I don't care what they say. You know, when they're being interviewed about this, they just don't look like they're telling the truth. And that's just to me. I don't know how you feel about it. But I thought it was most interesting that Greg Gutfeld was having the same opinion, that as long as they don't release it, we're gonna want to know about it. That's right. So here we are on WCRS. People are tuning in. Thank you so much on Facebook. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you so much. Now, this weekend, I am going to be girl on the street with a mic and a phone. And we are going to be going live every so often right there on the street. You'll probably get to hear a little music. I hope I get to talk to I'm going to be doing the girl on the street, talking to people on the street. We're also going to be talking to some of the artists. So it would be a good idea if you would look and get yourself, so when I do go live, that you can check it out, So how do you do that? It's really quite simple. You go to notifications, your notifications, or if you're under following, click on that, and then there is a place where you can turn on your notifications to always get notifications from moi. And you know, I just don't do things spuriously. I've always got purpose. So it would be a great idea to do that. That way you'll be sure to be involved. So on your mobile phone, go to WCRS 1450/98.5 FM Facebook page, tap the following button, then tap the notifications or the bell icon, turn on live video notifications, which you probably have, and then switch to all notifications so that you'll be notified on everything. Now, after the festival, if you want to turn it back to just video, you could do that. But this would be good so that if I send out a notification that we'll be going live in 5 minutes, that you'll be looking for it if you're interested. On your desktop, go to the Facebook page, hover over or click on the following button, depend on how your computer, what version of Windows or whatever that you have. Click notification and select all live videos, and that way every time I go live out on the street, you'll be able to get an alert every time. And if you want to check it out and be part of it, that would be great. All right, so Brennan and Comey, I think it's a crock. I think it would be great. But you know what? I'm just afraid they'll get right up to the door and then they won't open it. You know, they say they're going to do it all the time, right? Well, are they? And of course, the big news yesterday was the doctor for Biden pleaded the fifth, said nothing, admitted nothing. I don't even know if he admitted he was his doctor or not. Of course, he was a friend. He did have a business relationship. Lots of conversation yesterday about how he could get around not exposing the HIPAA part, but protecting himself. The question is he going to do it? That's the question. So a lot of people are saying, a lot of talking heads out there are saying that he should protect himself and come forward because somebody's going to get a deal. But looks like they are really going to be going for after this with Biden. I think they should. I think they should do that. Will they? I don't know. But let's hope that they try to get to the bottom of this. It really is at this point. What are they going? Here you go. Hillary Clinton. What are they going to do about it if they do this, right? What are they going to do about it? Anyways, that's a little story aside on that. Now, I also wanted to talk about the United Federation of Teachers up there in New York City. Do you realize? You don't think that they are a very liberal organization? They have endorsed Mondavi as their mayor candidate. Did you hear what I said? They have endorsed Mondavi, the avowed socialist Democratic candidate who wants free housing, free buses, grocery stores run by the government. Yes, that is true. I looked this up. United Federation of Teachers endorsed Mondavi for their mayoral candidate. I think that tells you all you need to know about what, Ann? About where the Democratic Party is if they are endorsing an avowed socialist. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of frightening. How about you? That this is what we're dealing with. But it is what it is. So, if you think that Mondavi is not a real threat to what is happening in New York with the Teachers Federation, and look at how many people the Teachers Federation up there, I don't remember the number, but it's a huge number, and if they all got out and voted, this could be disastrous for New York City. What if they actually elected an avowed socialist? What if this socialist started to start some of the policies that he's talking about? What if he did? 864-229-7984. 864-229-7984. Well, somebody just said, I thought you would have said something about Gavin Newsom. Well, I was getting to that one. He was in Lawrence yesterday. See, I know that he was in Lawrence yesterday. The news that I had about this is that they had an overflowing crowd in Lawrence when he was there. So yes, he visited Lawrence yesterday. He was at the St. Paul First Baptist Church of Lawrence. He was only there for an hour. So you know what? Here's the beauty of something. When you pop in and you pop out and you just say a few words and you're out of there and everybody gives you the high five here, right? You can really feel pretty good. I mean, let's go ahead, clapping. Yeah, they had an overwhelming. People had to stand on the outside there and listen to it. He was in what? Oconee, Pickens, and Lawrence counties. In Lawrence, the event was a meet and greet hosted by the Lawrence County Democratic Party, and that was yesterday afternoon. So he's telling people here in South Carolina, you've been overlooked. And he can do a better job. So is he going to, you got to say, he's going to want to run for the presidency when he is coming to little old really red South Carolina. And of course, he had Clyburn with him, and they were touting what they can do. And I think it's very interesting that they chose South Carolina to come to. Now, it's only a 2-day swing, so it was yesterday and today. He'll be down in the lower part of the state, I guess. But unbelievable. He said they're overlooked, not at the state level, but at the national level. He said he hoped to give to that and help people know, quote, we have their back. He criticized the Trump administration's recent budget, calling it the biggest transfer of wealth in American history, aimed at wealthy individuals and corporations. Spare me the financial conservatism, what frauds they are. And that's some of the quotes from that. But they said the capacity of the crowd was overwhelming. And I find that interesting in Lawrence. So gives me a little pause about Lawrence. But I wish I could have gone yesterday afternoon. I really did. I was hoping to get up there, but there was no way with my responsibilities here with the Blues Cruise that I could be there. But I really wanted to go, and I was hoping I could be one of those aggravating reporters that got to ask a question that he didn't answer. So what the heck? Anyways, yes, he's coming through here. And I do find it interesting that he would choose South Carolina to come to. I guess, because what do you think was the reason that he came to South Carolina? 864-229-7984. 864-229-7984. I wonder how many people from Greenwood, were up there, because I know we have quite an active group of Trump haters from Greenwood. I wondered how many came from there and went over there. That would be interesting to know. 864-229-7984. If you're listening and you were there yesterday, love to hear from you. 864-229-7984. So as we move forward here today, I got another day of interviews. The Blues Cruise is here. It is exciting to be here. I wanted to mention a couple of other things. I kind of talked about this before we went on the air this morning, but Sean Duffy, who is the Transportation Secretary, has just been put in the position by the president to take over space. And so the NASA, he's now over NASA as well as Transportation Secretary. Personally, I think that's great, yada, 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 congratulations. But how much can somebody actually take over and do a good job at it? But Trump says he's doing such a good job, that he wanted him to take that over. Did I have any other questions here? I had a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Did you know we had the first measles case of measles in the upstate? That's right, not here in Greenwood. I think it was outside of Greenville. Again, people going on international trips. The last case that was in South Carolina was a year ago, and it's somebody had been on an international trip and had not been vaccinated for measles, brought measles back. And here we have another case, same thing. People going on an international trip, come back, they've got measles. Hey, by the way, what'd you think about the fact of being able to keep your shoes on when you travel through through air travel. What do you think about that? I think that's pretty awesome. But if all these years we've been taking off our shoes and there really wasn't a reason, why the heck did we have to do it? Remember when they started this? Somebody had what did they have in their shoe? Some type of an igniter. And that's why all of a sudden the fear, and we've been doing this for years, and people have tried to figure out all different types of things to do when you have to take off your shoes. But no longer do you have to take off your shoes. Of course, unless the TSA said, "You, over there, get your shoes off. We need to check them." But that's another interesting story that is out there in the news. So, the thing with Medicaid is very interesting, FYI. There's an article in the South Carolina Gazette. By 2043, South Carolina hospitals could receive $2.4 billion less to treat Medicaid patients. This thing with Medicaid is a big deal. I find it most interesting that people saying that are able-bodied, that working 20 hours a week would just be too much to work. While some of us work 60 hours a week, they don't even think they can work 20 hours a week. Now, there's a big difference between somebody who is in desperate need, who cannot work, and somebody who is just, I'm going to use the word, gaming the system. But it says in this article, it says South Carolina hospitals are set to take a multi-million-dollar annual cut when treating Medicaid patients as the new law pushed through Congress phases out a complicated program that boosted the government's payments for Medicare. You know, one of the things that I hearken back to, and this actually goes back to, I think it was Nikki Haley, when so many Democrats, particularly Democrats, I'm not singling them out, but particularly Democrats, wanted South Carolina to do the expanded Medicaid. And the government would pay for it. That's all we heard. The government would pay for it. And that was on the Democratic side. And this is when Nikki Haley was governor. And she said, yes, but it's only was for a year or two. And on the Democratic side, they kept saying, no, it'll be something that will stay. We need to do this. Well, actually, I want to say, thank goodness, South Carolina did not take the expanded Medicaid, because now it looks like those states that did are really going to be footing a big bill unless they unburden themselves from the expanded Medicaid. Yeah, unburden. Don't you like that word? All right. So, but this is a big story. I don't know how much air it'll get or anything else. In 2028, South Carolina, and you know what? It won't even get much air because what? Well, it's not till 2028. South Carolina will start losing its ability to pay hospitals for treating Medicaid patients at similar rates as private insurance through what is known as the state-directed payment plan. Now, we all know that nonprofit hospitals, self-regional is one, they are mandated through their mission and everything to treat people first, not be worried about the insurance. And there always has been that, we'll call it a safety net with Medicaid, so they knew they would be paid something for a lot of people who did not have private insurance. Well, this could change this up hugely. So this is something that they are going to want to be aware of. The hospitals are going to be watching. Instead of hospitals getting reimbursed with rates that align with private insurance as they have for the last 2 years, payments would plummet back to Medicare levels. The difference would mean an estimated $2.4 billion loss, according to the advocacy group. Without action by the state legislature, this will lead to all-round higher costs for health care and insurance for all South Carolinians, according to hospital advocates and researchers. To deal with the change in finances, hospitals may shift costs to other patients, they said. This is a most interesting development, in my opinion, and it's one that's kind of be beneath the surface, and we're going to say, what? We didn't know anything about this, and yet you'll have to say you heard this on WCRS because I read a lot of stuff, and you're going to say, I think I remember hearing about something like that. It says, without action by the state, it will lead to all-round higher costs for health care and insurance for all South Carolinians. In the worst-case scenario, small cash-strapped hospitals, often located in rural areas, may cut back on the services they offer or close altogether, forcing South Carolinians to travel farther from home for emergency health care. This is going to be an interesting topic for the hospitals. How will they deal with this? You know, some areas not too far away from us do not have a hospital. Now, some of them over the last few years have opened emergency care facilities, but some of them have not even have had that. I mean, I look at Edgefield, Saluda. These areas are we're rural. We're counted as a rural area, but some areas are very rural, and this is what they're going to. It said that would add to the 6 rural hospitals that have closed since 2010, according to a 2023 legislative study. So that's, while we call it the big beautiful bill that President Trump signed on Friday, it marked one of the biggest reductions in health care spending in U.S. history, estimated at $1 trillion over 10 years nationwide, according to the CBO estimates. So it says the Palmetto State is among 36 states using this program to boost Medicaid rates. 11 of those, including South Carolina, use it to take rates fully to the private market rate. The others are Georgia, Iowa, Kentucky, Minnesota, Nevada, Oklahoma, Oregon, Tennessee, Washington, and New Mexico. So, hospital taxes are nothing new. South Carolina has taxed hospitals to help pay its share of the state-funded federal insurance program since 1989. But it wasn't until 2 years ago that the legislature gave the state's Medicaid agency permission to hike those taxes to increase reimbursement rates. Those state taxes will likely be readjusted with the federal law's phase-in, though it's unclear how much that could help. So while all of us at one point or another need a hospital, need to go to the hospital, it could impact the costs that we are paying futuristically. Nonprofit hospitals are less likely to refuse treatment, as this care is often a condition of their tax-exempt status, according to the American Hospital Association. The higher rates, increased access to for-profit hospitals, and doctors less inclined to take patients paying through Medicaid. The new law undoes nearly all of that. It gradually reduces states' ability to use federal taxes to boost reimbursement rates starting in 2028, the final year of the Trump administration. The 10% annual reduction to the program would continue until 2043. To help impact rural hospitals most heavily impacted by the new law, Congress set aside a $50 billion pot of money to be distributed nationwide over 5 years. How much of that will go to South Carolina's hospitals is not yet known. So I bring this up not to be negative, but to be aware of the fact that there could be changes, and this idea that everybody should be able to work 20 hours, that's part of the bill, but there are a lot more underlying things that, quite frankly, probably they need to be done. We need to figure out a way to spend less in our government, but it could impact the state of South Carolina and therefore impact you on how much hospital costs will be. So, as we move forward, it is something that you need to be aware of. I'm going to keep my eye on it because I think it is an important topic. It's an important topic because it will affect all those that are on Medicaid or Medicaid. And what will happen to the Medicaid program is a question as they start reducing this, and what health care will people on Medicaid be able to get will be the next question. It says, while those they expected in the expansion state, the laws require Medicaid enrollees to file paperwork every 6 months to prove their incomes to meet eligibility rules. People applying or renewing coverage will also have to verify they're working, volunteering, or attending school at least 80 hours a month, or that they qualify for an exemption such as caring for a young child. That's expected to result in people losing Medicaid coverage, at least partly due to bureaucracy and confusion. While those rules don't apply to South Carolina, the state has a higher percentage of uninsured residents, giving hospitals much less wiggle room to absorb the impact of payment reductions, said Kevin Bennett, director of the Center for Rural and Primary Health Care at the University of South Carolina School of Medicine. So these are some of the things that we're dealing with, and I just thought it was worthwhile making sure that everybody knew about this. So that's what we got going on here. We've had a big day here today. I think another story that deserves a lot more looking at, the United Federations of Teachers endorsing Mondavi. I think Gavin Newsom coming to South Carolina is a most interesting development. And I'm quite proud that I was the one that said in the morning before the evening show of Gutfeld that people want to know what's happening with the Epstein files. And if there's really nothing there, please just go ahead and let us know this. That's right. What are they hiding? That's what everybody wants to know. We want to know what is happening. One of our texters here this morning said, Hillary has gotten away with more than Biden could have ever dreamed of. That's true. So anyways, we are here at WCRS. Yes, I came in number 101 on the Heavy 100. So you have an original right here. I could be considered number one if we just dropped the 10. But the one thing is for sure, we have some of the best talkers right here on WCRS. And I personally am very proud that we do have these talkers on for a talk radio station in a small town. To have this quality of talkers on is a testament to, I don't know what it's a testament to, but it's a testament to the fact that we work very hard to have what you need right here on WCRS. Oh, UPS just arrived again. That's right. It's another drop-off at WCRS. But I think having this quality of talkers certainly is a testament to the viability and the listenability of people listening right here on WCRS radio. So if you are an advertiser and you're saying, should I advertise on WCRS? Of course, I'm going to say yes, but I can prove it to you between our numbers that we have on Facebook. Last 28 days, I think it was over 18,000 views on our Facebook Live, the stream. And now that you can go to our website, WCRS1450am.net, and actually watch our Facebook Lives or put them in the background and listen to them. They're usually up that afternoon, that evening. It certainly has improved how quick we can turn things around. You'll never miss any information if you're if you're plugged into WCRS, and as an advertiser, if you're plugged in with us on WCRS, you certainly are going to get the ear of the people of Greenwood and our surrounding areas. Remember, WCRS for radio advertising. What do you have to say about radio advertising? I have one thing to say. It's top of mind. When I need your product, when I need your service, yes, I am going to say, where have I heard that I could get X, Y, or Z? Oh, yeah, I heard it on WCRS. That's who I'm going to contact. It's subtle, it's there, and it's never ending, 24 hours a day, right here on WCRS. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. Don't forget to tune in this afternoon at 4. We're going to be having a good time talking with two artists. Peter Karp, international storyteller, musician extraordinaire. And then 4:30 to 5, Veronica Jackson will be joining us right here on the radio. Guess what? That's going to do it for me. We are going to say adieu. And again, I have completed my mission of doing it all right here on WCRS. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Like and share the videos. Any of them you can. If you like and share them, get more people seeing them, the better it does for what we're trying to do here, which is get the info out there. Well, maybe that you like me. I don't know. Talk to you later, everybody. Have a great day. This is WCRS Radio. That's the end.